What's up guys, EXG Gravity here, or Old Edit or Dan, and I'm going to show you how to render from Cinema 4D to Photoshop without a background, so it's just a transparent background. So let's open up Cinema 4D. Probably should have opened it before I started my tutorial, but we all gotta wait. And now we're good, so let's go to MoGraph and then click MoText. And then make sure it's on the Object tab and type in whatever text you want. I'm going to type in tutorial. That's not spelled right at all. Tutorial. There you go. Alright, now let's go to font. And I'm not sure why my computer's really slow right now, but it's actually brand new. Click. The font I'm using is Bebas. I'll link it to you guys in the description because I think it's a pretty cool font for what I'm about to do. And now just click this tool here to rotate, and just rotate the text. Then click this one to move it, and just move it to the middle. But what we forgot to do, click this button for the render settings. Go to output. Wow, that's not good at all. Okay, so go to film video, and then this one, HDV, HDTV, 720/30, or 29.97, and then go to save. We're going to save it to I guess I can save it here. We're going to call it Tut1 save. Now this is really important. You got to go down to QuickTime PNG. On a Mac it'll say Apple PNG, and on PC it says QuickTime PNG. And if you don't have that option, then you don't have QuickTime installed, or maybe you just downloaded some kind of crap copy of Cinema 4D. Anyway, so then you click Alpha Channel, and you're done in the save part of it. Now on anti-aliasing, I like to put best. Then let's go to effects, so we can put some effects into it. Let's add an ambient occlusion, color correction, depth of field, and global illumination, and close out of that. So now as you see these gray bars here, they were like here, but then they got smaller. Alright, so now let's make sure our text is all lined up. Also, you can always click this button here just to look at what you'll get without anything, well, basically what you have already. And I don't have any light sources or anything like that, so I gotta add some of those. Alright, so first let's click back on the MoText, go to caps, fill it cap on the start and fill it cap on the end. Steps 3. And radius 3, and then you do the same thing on the end. Alright, and then let's click this light, add a light, and then bring it out a little, just like that. Then you click this one, click array, and then make the light a child of the array, which basically spreads the light all around. It's a really cool trick. Now let's see what we have so far. Very nice text so far. Let's go back to the MoText, double click here, and double click on that little icon that pops up. Make sure you're on color. Click on the color and change it to whatever color you want. I think I'm going to go with pretty light cyan, teal, blue. Yeah. Uncheck specular and check luminance. Now in luminance, change it to about 13.9, around 10. Yeah, let's do 10. And let's add a reflection, which is about 15, 18 is fine. Keep it on 18. You can copy the settings exactly, but this is just kind of rounding it. And just drag it right onto your MoText. Now I'm going to close down the array. Make sure MoText is selected. Press C on your keyboard. Then press plus, 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 and then you have all the letters of your tutorial. Just drag them out. Well, actually, hold on, I messed that up. It's C plus 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 plus. There we go. Drag it out. R I A L. So you may notice that the color is gone, but that's okay. We can just click the MoText and delete it. Now go to MoGraph, click Fracture, And I'm just going to keep the array above the fracture. Wait. Let me just above the fracture, like that. Now take every single letter and put it on the fracture now. You got to make sure you don't put it under the letters. You actually have to put it under the word fracture, or else it'll just mess everything up. And yeah, the world's going to end. Now for the color, you can always drag the material back onto the fracture. And make sure fracture is selected. And go to MoGraph, Effector, Random. And it's going to make it all weird looking. I'm going to uncheck position and check rotation. The numbers I'm going to use are 15, 10, and 10. And it kind of just makes it kind of random, pretty nice. Actually, see what 50 does. 50 makes it all crazy. And then see what P here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Actually, we'll do -50, so they're all leaning back. Now just use these keys up here to center it, and then we'll see what we have so far. Let it render out. It looks really cool when it's rendering, I'm not gonna lie. There you go, so that's what it's gonna look like when it's rendered. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the array. Shift it like to the close to the back, so some letters will be darker. So when I render it out again, basically, Cinema 4D is trial and error. You just gotta know the functions, basically, of all this. I don't mean literally the functions tab, but I mean everything here. So I think that looks better, because then the O and the R are more defined, that they're separate letters, and I like this shadow here. I think I'm going to keep it like that. So click on the middle button to finally render it. There we go. And it's going to start rendering it. We just went through this, except now it's just finalizing it. And when it's all spread out, and you see that this R light turns green. Let's see. I think it's green. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's green. Here you can right click on it, show file in Explorer or Finder. Finder's on the Mac. So here it is, tutorial. When you double click it, it comes up like this. It doesn't have a white background. It's literally transparent. And let me show you what I mean. I'm going to take this, I'm going to drag it into our Photoshop. And see, it's completely, there's no background on it. And if I go here, if I double click on it to our blending options and we had drop shadows, it actually affects the letters individually instead of just, you know, here, let me show you a better example. If I had color overlay, it literally overlays just on the letters, not the background. A lot of times if you use a different, like, well, that's a nice thing. If you use like a picture and you set the compositing mode to screen, it just gets rid of the black in the back, but if you add a color overlay, it just makes the whole thing like the color, which is kinda not convenient at all. And let me show you how it works here. Let's go File, New. That's fine. Let's go to Google Images, google.com/imghp, and let's type in hat. I'm not sure why, but let's take this picture of a hat, right click it, copy the image, go here, Control V to paste it, and then you can always go here, drag the tutorial right on there, and you can see basically the point of what I was talking about is it actually there's nothing in between the letters. Literally, I can use a paintbrush. No, I can't use a paintbrush unless I rasterize the layer. I use a paintbrush, I paint all over it, but there's nothing in the background. And for proof, if I toggle that off and double click on the layer and add a color overlay, where is that? Here. The whole thing turns red around it because the background on it is white, but there's still a defined square. So yeah, that's what I think is pretty cool about transparent letters. Alright guys, if you like the tutorial, please, you know, like the video. If you dislike the tutorial, I discourage you to dislike the video, but I mean, haters gotta hate. And don't worry about this. What can it was? Have a nice day, guys.